Okay, you guys, today we're going to be drawing these dogs, kind of like this one or this one. These are kind of my sketches where I was getting things the way I wanted them, okay? If you look at your paper this way, it's like a heart on a stick with a smiley face at the bottom. But this is the way we want to do it because this is the center of the dog's nose, and then we're going to put the nose right there, and then we're going to draw the rest of the face, and we're going to add some ears, okay? So this is kind of our idea, and you don't have to add the heart stuff to the top. That is up to you, okay? So what we're gonna do first is we'll just draw the nose in the middle of this shape right here, like the upside down heart, okay? And you want kind of a big nose for your dog. Dogs don't have teeny weeny noses unless they're a teeny weeny dog, okay? So I'm gonna draw a curve like this, and then I'm gonna kind of bring it down on the sides. And then I'm just gonna kind of bring it down. Now I'm drawing in Sharpie, but you're gonna draw in pencil, okay? And then I'm gonna go ahead and draw a highlight on my nose. You don't have to do that, but it would have like a highlight right there, okay? If you want, you don't have to. And this one, well, let's do the ears next. So we'll do the ears next, okay? So the ears come off. The face will be kind of like right in here, but it makes more sense to draw the ears first, okay? But you don't want them to come way into the face. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a little kind of sketch line right here to show where the sides of my face are. Because if I bring my ears way back into here, that's where the eyes would be, okay? And then I'm just gonna lightly sketch, and I'm doing this in Sharpie, you'll do it in pencil, but you're gonna bring them down as far as you want them, and then you're gonna bring them back up and in like this, okay? So bring it down as far as you want it, and I'm gonna kind of make it the same, but you don't have to. Maybe he has one shorter ear and one longer ear, or she. Okay, and you guys are drawing in pencil, so if you make a mistake, you can erase it. It's not a big deal. Now, we're gonna do, our finished dog will have little heart sunglasses here. So I'm gonna draw an eye right here, and that's just gonna be a placeholder for where the eyes go, okay? But we're not gonna fill that in or anything today necessarily. You can fill it in with charcoal when we do our charcoal, but. All right, now, down here, I'm gonna add some little dots to his, I guess we would call this his muzzle, okay? And then if you want the tongue stuck out, so if you want there to be a tongue stuck out right here, then draw your tongue first, and then we'll draw the chin, okay? So if you just want a chin like this, you can do just a chin, all right? But let's say I want a tongue stuck out. I'm gonna draw the tongue kind of like this with a little line in the middle. And then the tongue would hang down below the chin. So then I'll draw the chin kind of like it's going behind the tongue. Again, you don't have to do that. And then I'm going to draw his or her neck, a stomach. And if you want the tail to show, you could draw a little bit of the tail back here, but you don't have to. Okay. If you want to draw, now we're not going to do our background today. We're just going to shade in our dog in just a second. And then we're going to paint our background and paint our heart glasses on and paint this stuff next week, okay? Anything that has color will get painted. Everything that's black and white, it's just going to get shaded today. So if you want these on top, like he has on, or she has on a little heart headband, we did a paint night recently for door hangers where we did that, then you could do that, okay? But we want to keep it simple. We're not adding a ton of extra details, okay? If you want to draw in maybe a couple of little patches where the dog has some darker spots or something, that would be fine too. Again, don't do too much with the eyes. Like sometimes dogs have cute little dark circles around the eye, but we're gonna paint over top of the eyes the heart glasses next week. So I wouldn't do too much with that. Okay, so once you're done, you're gonna trace it in Sharpie and write your name in the corner, or you could have already written your name on the back, okay? And then we'll come back and we'll shade our dogs in today. Okay, I didn't say this before, but your teacher will have told you you can fill in the nose with a Sharpie and the eyes with a Sharpie. Even though we're going to paint over the eyes, maybe some of you don't want to paint over the eyes when we get there. We'll see. But that way they're really, really black. We want them as dark as possible. Contrast is really important. Now, charcoal, this is charcoal, and it's wood, a specific type of wood that has been charred with fire, and you can draw with it and make marks with it, okay? So I like to use little pieces of charcoal. If you try to use the big piece, which was this and this together, it's really long and it breaks anyway. And charcoal does break easily, which does not mean we're gonna break it on purpose, all right? So we're gonna have some areas that have color next week, and we're gonna have some areas that we wanna shade this week with our charcoal, okay? So charcoal is messy, so we wanna be really careful with it. We're only using fingers to blend with. We're not using our whole hand, okay? And we're taking our time and doing a good job. Some areas will be white, or as white as we can get them, and some areas will be medium values, and some areas might be darker values. So just like with a pencil, if I press hard and I color with it, I'm going to get a dark value. If I press light and color with it, I'm going to get a light value, okay? Also, when we blend with our finger, sometimes it lightens the value for us, okay? So here comes the heat in my room. All right, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna do this area right here on the face. I'm gonna leave this white, and I'm gonna do this area right here. And a good way to get some different values in your drawing is I'm gonna outline this section. Okay, you see how I outlined it? And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna use that value that I've already put on there, and I'm gonna blend it out into these white areas. So now I have some different values in my dog, okay? If you have an area, and see how I'm just using like one finger. If you have an area that you want really dark, then you can come through and just color it really dark. And then I'm gonna take my finger and just blend inside of that dark area, okay? So again, let me show you this side, and then you guys can work on the face. I'm staying out of the area that I want to be white, and I'm going around and just kind of outlining it. I'm not doing a really thin line like this, okay? You want it to be kind of thick. Doesn't have to go, see how I've got some edge right there? That's okay, it doesn't have to go all the way to the edge. Then I'm gonna take my one finger and I'm taking that color. I'm not going like this, okay? And I'm tracing it and then pulling that color out into this area of my dog. And I'm trying to stay out of here. Now, what if, as you're doing this, what if you accidentally get a fingerprint or something in there, okay? Then just take your finger and kind of blend it like this. A clean finger is what I would use. And then just let it be. It'll still be lighter than what you have here, okay? Or as you can see, this area got thicker, so this side of his face is darker. So I'm gonna come through and I can add a little bit more to this side and then just blend it out a little bit more again, and it'll get a little bit darker too. You can never get them probably perfectly the same, but they look really cute, okay? All right, so work on your face. Don't do, if you drew the little heart things, we're gonna paint those with color or use chalk. I haven't decided, with color next week, okay? But do this part and then we'll come back. All right, I've decided I'm gonna color the tongue too. So we're using color to emphasize certain areas, but you don't have to color the tongue, okay? So what I'm gonna do, just like up here, I'm gonna do a little bit of charcoal on the bottom of the chin, and then I'm gonna blend it, okay? I'm not doing any in the mouth. Again, if you get a fingerprint or something up there, right, we're just gonna blend it out and let it be. It'll still be lighter than what's around it, okay? If you wanted to do the tongue in charcoal, you can. It'll be exactly the same. Or you can paint it next week. So you add a little color to the edges and then blend it with your finger, okay? All right, the last step is this bottom part. I'm gonna leave this part white, I'm gonna do this part dark like this, and then I'm gonna do the tail too. So I'm gonna come around this outside area. And this time, I'm gonna just come through my dot, my spot on my dog. And then I'm gonna go around this a little bit. And I'm gonna take my one finger and I'm gonna blend that out so that I have color out here. And we're getting all these different values in our dog. Okay, if you want a little texture, I am going to show you on this one how to add some texture. So down here, we wouldn't want a lot of texture in the face, but down here, if you want to do a little texture, you can draw, after you do that, you can draw some little texture lines like that. And then you can blend them with your finger as well. And you can also create the texture of fur on your dog. Blending them makes them look really good. Okay, then I'm gonna come in here and just like I did up there, I'm gonna fill in his spot to make it dark. And then I'm gonna do his little tail like this. Okay, now, if you rub your hand all over this, right, it's going to smear. So don't do that. We're gonna take your picture with it, and if you get a little fingerprint or something in the background, we can just do our best to rub it out like this, but we're gonna paint over it next week. So we're gonna take your picture with it as is today, and then I'm gonna spray these, and the next time when you come back, you're going to get to do stuff in your background, okay? Spraying it will seal it so that when you touch it, it won't go everywhere, okay? All right, so your doggies are gonna be so cute. I can't wait to see them. And I will, we'll come back next week and finish them.